When I got back to Jamaica now, I said, alright, maybe I can switch to dating. And when I matched with this person now, he was living at the other end of the island, and hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your girl Kadz. How are you doing? This is Wine with Kadz, guys, and this is Kadz. I have a gum in my mouth because I still have a throat issue, so hopefully not distracting. So as I promised you in my last video, I was going to be talking about my experience with online dating. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Drink some water because the tea is brewing. I should have wine for the episode, but I'm still upon medication. All right, so I was introduced to this dating site. I think it was in May of last year, May of last year. When I was away, I was in New York, as I vlogged and I show you guys, and I was introduced to it, but I wasn't ready to date at that time, so maybe I shouldn't have paid no mind, but I did join, put up my profile and everything. And this particular, if you're familiar with dating sites, when I start to give details of it, you'll know which dating site I'm talking about. So this particular site, it had the option for, but when I was in the States, it had an option for networking, where you can find business partners or are networking, best friends. So you can find friends if you're just looking for friendship, and dating. So when I joined, I just said, let me try the friend thing first, because I wasn't too sure. And I was in New York, and I was like, even if I get into a relationship, I don't want a long distance like that. So I was on the networking part, and then I switched to BFF, and I met a few people while I was in New York, because this app, it shows like when you're not in the country that you're supposed to be in. It shows that you're traveling, so it only showed me persons in New York and around New York and whatnot. And then it showed me about Jamaica. When I got back to Jamaica now, I said, alright, maybe I can switch to dating. And I think it was the same day I got back to Jamaica, I matched with somebody. And when I matched with this person now, he was living at the other end of the island, and he matched, and he asked me if he could get my number and talk to me and whatnot. I'm like, okay, sure, cool, no problem. It's dating site, whatever it is after all. So y'all get to know me. Even though I don't know if you're a creep, you still communicate with me through the app. So I just give my number. Turns out, yeah, I'm gonna tell him the whole story of that first experience. So we talked, he called me, and we were talking for like 3 or 4 hours or whatnot. I'm like, okay, this, it could get somewhere. I don't know. I was like, I don't know if I'm hopeful. I was just like, okay, this is something different. And I came back this Saturday. We spoke all day. I think we talked all the Saturday night. And then the Sunday I had a sip and paint event, a charity event. So we spoke when I got back home from that event, and then that was a Sunday, and we had talked and good. But then the following day, like legit the next day, him sent me one voice note, and he was all music playing in the background, and he started going into great detail of his imagination of what we would be doing if we were near each other. And I'm like, no. No, absolutely not. So I started to, I just did that. Like, he was not the type of person who would, patronize me either. Like, he wouldn't call. I never somebody who, like, me just cut off that communication, but it was not somebody who was like somebody who would have just call and say, why you not talking to me and this and that. No, it was just like, I think you know what I do. But he eventually reached out and I say, nah, hear from him and say, yo, I'm busy and I never really want to, because I don't know him that well. But I was like, it's not work. So immediately after that interaction, I deleted the app and I go about my daily business and I mind my business and whatnot. And then when I moved home in May, and I think I downloaded the app again late June or mid-June, I think. I don't remember, but I went somewhere that time. And I matched like with a lot of people. So you know how this dating thing go. Honestly, being in a new environment or newish to me environment, I went on it with the intention that but I probably meet some people who are close enough or close by. I'm gonna go on a few dates. I wasn't looking to settle down. I wasn't looking for a relationship right off the bat, honestly. I was gonna say, you can have a few conversations with people and actually find out what you like and don't like. I had no intentions to do anything sexual with anybody. So for me, it was just like getting to know people. Anyway, majority of the people whom I meet lived in Kingston. So I said, all right, fine. If these are the options, we continue. And I was talking to a few of them and match. And there was this one particular guy who, was initially like really, really nice and like call me every day and blah, 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 blah. And then after the third day, crickets. Like he just ghosted me, like he just stopped talking to me. He was no longer on the app. And I'm like, okay, this is strange. So I actually reached out to him and I was like, hey, whatever his name was, I don't remember. Is everything good? Are you okay? I'm hoping that you're well. And he's like, hi, Kadz, I'm well. Thanks for reaching out. Okay, cool. You see what it's about, I feel me, it's fine. It's fine. And then there was this other guy who was like, and I learned so much about myself from this experience, which is basically what I was getting into. Yes, this other guy was like, so what are you cooking? Oh yeah, cook for dinner or something like that. Honestly, for me, that is a huge turn off. I know why you ask mommy to cook, because there's going to be no intentions for me to be like your mother. You understand? You're not going to expect that every day you're going to come home and get a meal from me. And that is not to say that if and when I become a wife, I'm not going to cook for my husband, but I'm going to be realistic. The life that I am heading into, that should not be a realistic expectation of me. But currently very busy. Can't tell the last time I cook a meal for myself. So it's like, if that is an expectation of you, then it's not gonna work. You understand? Not gonna work. I like to cook. When I'm in the mood, I enjoy cooking, but I can't something for me every day. And that taught me like, hey, like you can't say, you can't stand up for yourself and say, no, this is not for me. I mean, a lot of girls would have probably take that, or me in the past would have been like, if I was getting to know somebody and them asked me, what are you cooking? I would see that as an opportunity now for show off my skills. I say, oh, I'm cooking some baked chicken with some sweet corn and yellow rice and blah, blah, blah. But no, that is not my reality. I ain't cook nothing. My reality is I'll probably go down and girl and get something to eat, or see whatever mommy cook and go around her kitchen and have something to eat. That is my reality, but I don't cook. And I think that opened a conversation with me and this person, and it's like, that's not something to expect from me, because my life is not predictable. Yeah, so I cannot say like I'll have an event and after me spend 5 hours at that event, 1 hour to set up, 3 hours to execute the event, another hour to break down. Plus we not count the hours I go take me to get there. You can't realistically expect that I'm gonna come home and make a meal. Yeah, so that taught me that. And then there was this other guy who was just like, he wasn't asking any questions. I would just be asking him questions, and anytime if I add him on Instagram, and that was that. And then there was this other person, this very interesting match that I had. Like when we match, and then he was like, oh no, I looked at your profile and it says that you want kids. I don't want kids. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. Like, I never realized, say, you know, you don't want kids. And I'm like, okay, and look back in profile and say you don't want kids. And then we had a really, like, he called and we had a really good conversation. And that was like really good, like really good conversation. And I'm like, you can have conversation with the opposite sex and it doesn't have to get uncomfortable or weird. We went in knowing that, like, we had a conversation knowing, say, this is not gonna go nowhere, this is not gonna even reach a point of dating. Because Mr. Tim said, me understand for people who don't want to have children, and I respect their decision, but I know that that is something that I want for myself. At the time, I wanted that, like, I love to change your mind. Some days I don't feel like that's the life for me. Some days I feel like I'm gonna be 32 at the end of the month, and some days I feel like I say I'm getting too old, and when my child gets to like 20, I'm gonna be 50 odd, and I'm like, that's not how it was with my parents, and my fears say I'm gonna miss out on a lot of their lives because we have them too old. And then we also think about my parents' relationship with my children, and it's like, will they get to have that kind of relationship with their grandchildren, my children, because they're getting older. I'm gonna have a man yet. I'm gonna have a ring for my finger. You understand? But so that is, you know, why sometimes I change my mind, and I do want to ensure that my children get the kind of life where they're humble, but they're not lacking, you know. And I want to be able to give them the absolute best. When I have a child, if you have a child's sake, and sacrifice my needs for theirs, it have to be that them see mommy they pour into mommy's cup so she can pour into theirs. So yeah, that was a very good conversation that we had. And I was like, I don't want to move on with try and say, okay, let's see where this goes. No, I'm not gonna give one unrealistic expectation, and you're not gonna give me one. You don't want kids, I know that I do. And so it wouldn't even make sense even, you know, prolong it, but we had a great conversation and that was good. And then another person that I had a great match with was the one person I actually went on a date with, one person I actually meet in person. He was living in Kingston as well. And then, you know, when I talk and we talk really good, I'm like, all right, you know what, let's take this over to WhatsApp. We start talking on WhatsApp, he started calling me every day after work, and it was like, it just went and grew and I grew and I grew and I grew. I'm like, all right, you know what, I don't know what the future holds, but may I go all in, right? I don't know if I tell him that. But I'm like, this was feeling like a great connection, me like him like me, and it felt real. So it's like, okay, let me give this a shot. And I'm like, all right, I'll come to Kingston and we're gonna meet you, blah blah blah. That was my first mistake. I should make him come down here. But I went to Kingston, we met. No, that was a great idea. That was a great idea. We go Kingston, we meet, and we had an amazing first date, amazing second date, and then he asked me to be girlfriend. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. No, I was like, no. He asked me to be his girlfriend on the second date, and I said no. Let us see, like, let's go on more dates first to see, like, me not rush nothing, you know, even though me know so my egg them a dry up, me not in no rush. I'm getting to know you, you're getting to know me, we're on opposite ends of the island. You don't know if I really this you want yet, so don't rush, you know. And then I was like, you know, maybe after the third or fourth date. Eventually we had some other dates, and then he asked me again. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, fine. And it was fine. It was fine. Until a couple months ago, I was like, this now work. Like, the consistency dropped. It was just excuses after excuses as to why things that were promised were not being delivered. I'm just saying, you know what? I am too old, and I value myself and love myself too much to be accepting excuses from anybody for how they treat me. I don't keep you waiting, so don't keep me waiting. I'm a priority in my life. You are, when we're in our relationship, you are a priority to me. So if that is not being reciprocated, I'm a bounce. Respectfully. And so I'm like, yeah, the content, like, how it was in the beginning was not how it was in the end. And for say it was short-lived, it's like, normally, they would wait a year or two to start showing dirty colors. I'm only say dirty colors, but if you start drop off a shape. And it's like, that one I never hesitate. It was just like, what you're saying is not adding up, and I'm not seeing the effort. And I was very, 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 very clear when I started dating, like, I need effort. I want consistency. If it is that you used to message me and say, hey babe, hey hon, every morning, I'm going to need that, because that is what reeled me in from the beginning. If you said to me, say, I'm going to call you at 5, I'm expecting your call at 5 or 5:05. And me not say nothing can happen, but I don't want to, and I'm not the kind of person who is going to be like, oh, when Mr. 5:30 come, I'm going to see him come, I got my bed. No, I would be like, oh, let me see if something is wrong. Because my first thought is never, oh, in there with wrong girl. My first thought is always, wonder if he's okay. Wonder if he did not want somewhere. Like, that is always where, like, my first word, like, wonder if he alright. Because I expect a call at this time. Now, when me call you, and you said to me, say, well, this never happened, but like, if me call you 5:30, and I was expecting your call at 5, and you also to me say, it's something like, you went to eat, or you went something, me not gonna accept that, because maybe I true, I'm a professional, and I value people and people time. Time is of very importance to me. People don't have time for waste. Now, if I say to you that I'm gonna call you at 5, when Mrs. 4:45 I come and I'm not able to make that call, I am sending you a text message and say, hey, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to call you at 5 o'clock. Give me until 6 or something like that, because you know you need to value people time. Like, we don't have time. People don't have time much just for the song and wait for nobody. Like 5 o'clock, me sit down for like, I don't want to miss your call, so I'm gonna say, I sit down to the wait. Like, we don't really think about what happened on the other side of the phone. Like, when somebody wait for you decide, say, you tell me, say, you're gonna call me 5 o'clock. And when 5:30 come, you still not call me yet. And then you go say you forget. You're gonna say you forget. Or go say, you're going to go eat first. No, I was expecting your call at 5. Call me at 5. Or text me at 5 o'clock and say, babe, something come up. I don't need to know what it is. Something, text me. Something come up. I'm not going to call you at 5. Can I call you at 6? Blah, 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 blah. Communicate. Y'all need to communicate. This is why people have issues, because when you don't communicate, so people over here, so the second guess, they guess, and I'll be FBI and I investigate and all that kind of something. It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, like, inconsistencies did not work out for me. I'm like, I value myself enough and too much, and I can't equate the love what God have for me with with a spouse's love for me. However, if God loved me so much, why should I accept this from somebody else? Like, think about it. God loves you because He created you. Like, God don't have no reason to love you. There's nothing that you can do to earn God's love. God is giving you His all. In all. He might get everything. And you go accept being somebody else's option. Like, in second place to in job, in second place to in baby mother, second place to everything else. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. And I know a lot of persons who probably disagree with me and say, in terms of in job and in child and yada yada yada. But, and I don't have any children, so I can't say that. I go tell one man, me can't speak on that part. Me leave out the children. Children are your priority. They didn't ask to be here. You are obligated to them. They're obligated to you. But like, your baby mother not supposed to come before your wife. Your family, your mother and father not supposed to come before your wife. And if when we're dating, I see that, or no, not even dating, when we're courting and in a relationship, Mrs. say, everything else come before me. It's not gonna work. It's just not gonna work. And most women don't even ask so much. It's like time, quality time, and effort. No, this was a long distance relationship. We lived on 2 different sides of the island. So of course, say, in order for something like that to work, people have to communicate and make an effort to do that. So I would make suggestions like, all right, let's let's try to do this, you know. But then call it virtual dates. No, me can't do that. It was just excuses after excuses. And I'm like, then how this not gonna work? Me not go the trek to Kingston every single week or every 2 weeks. And you not put in no effort. Like, that don't make no sense. So I ended that. I ended that. And I'm not heartbroken about it. Like, you know, a few friends knew, and I'm like, I'm not heartbroken. If anything, this taught me how to trust myself. Like, if you feel it in the bottom of your gut saying, this is not work out. This is not working out, and you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna continue. I'm not gonna continue to give myself that amount of anxiety. When me feel it and know I'm uncomfortable, I'm not gonna do that. So that situation helped me more to know that I can trust myself, because your body already tell you, say, hey, this is not for you. And when you trust yourself and act on it, it's so freeing. It's such a freeing experience, because the moment I chose to end it and the response that I got from him, I was like, it wasn't even confirmation. Like, yeah, you need to let it go. You need to let them go. You need to let them go. You need to let it go. So, you know, I ended that, and I'm better for it. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I had this option, and then you was just like, no, I'm choosing me. I choose me. And even though I know some egg them dry up and them are supposed to shell, and you know, time, you know, my biological clock a click, biological clock a tick, I shouldn't be settling for the second-rate version of a man. And when I know I deserve a king, I'm not gonna give king treatment to a peasant. I'm not doing it. I am a queen. I'm not gonna give king treatment to somebody who acts, behaves, and carry themselves like a peasant. I'm not doing it. Not to say that this person was, but I'm not doing it. You know, I'm not doing it. Yeah. So my overall online dating experience, you know, you meet some people and some of them are creeps, but it's not something that I think I would do again. I definitely feel like I'm in a space, you know, as I said before, you know, I'm in a space of contentment when I know, say, everything that I want and deserve is going to come and find its way to me. It's not a case now where I'm just lock up in the house because I expect my husband to go just come beat down my window. That not gonna happen, especially seeing that I'm living with my parents again, so that not gonna happen. But I'm, you know, putting myself out there more, and I feel like whoever it is that God has for me, He's going to send him in a way, and when He send him, I'm going to know. I'm going to know. So, yeah, that was the tea on my online dating experience. If you guys want to know more, don't hesitate to, you know, ask me in the comment section. If you don't want to know more about this whole thing, I don't know. I think I gave a lot of information. But if you want to know more that I'm able to share, you know, you can put it down in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Wine with Kadz, share this video with a friend, you know. And I want to, you know, ask you guys to, this year, try and learn to trust yourself. Pay attention to what your body is telling you. Your body to tell you, your mind to tell you, your heart to tell you. And oftentimes, when they align, because sometimes we don't say we mind to tell you one thing and we heart to tell you another thing, but when they align, trust it. You don't need to ask your mother, you don't need to ask your best friend, you don't need to ask your sister. Sometimes you need to just look within yourself and understand that you are the only person who can make the best decision for you. And that was my takeaway from that situation, because I know that if we probably run it by some people, then I say, no man, this and blah, 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 or make the situation far worse than it was. But I just, literally when I brushed my teeth, I was like, no, I gotta end this. Just like, I don't want to do things that are heartless, but when you know that something is not working, it is okay to just decide that you have to leave. Nobody no need to embarrass you. Nobody no need to abuse you in the most way. Nobody no need to cheat on you. Nobody no need to disrespect you outwardly for you just to recognize that, hey, this is not working out. And the beauty of it is that I kept my morals. I held on to my morals. I held on to my values. And I held on to what I know was best for me. And I acted on that. So I'm going to walk away from no situation feeling as though I didn't give it my all, or feeling as though I would be embarrassed or or lose dignity. Absolutely not. I walked away feeling like, yeah, I'm a powerful woman. And I, just wish people the best and hope for the best for them, but respectfully, stay over here so. Stay over there so. I mean, stay over here so. You can't, just wish you the best over there so. But leave me over here so. So, yes, I am single and loving it. I don't know if I want to mingle. I don't know, but I'm loving it. Anyway, again, I'm going to try and close the video again. Thank you so much for having a sip of wine with Kadz. I'm having water, but next time, I promise you that I'll be having wine. Guys, I love you so much. I hope your 2023 has been going great. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Like it up for me, please. And place your comments down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.